You're listening to The Dating Den with dating and relationship badass and best-selling author Marni Batista. Every week, you'll get the raw truth from top experts and real people on the important dating, sex, and relationship issues you want to know about. So if you're ready for true talk that's authentic and unfiltered, and you're not afraid to be called out on your stuff, then you're ready for what's next.
The Dating Den, episode 48 with Corey Jenkins. What does being feminine actually look like?
Hi everyone, my name is Corey Jenkins and I am here with the lovely Marni Batista, who you know. I've been invited to the Dating Den. This is exciting.
It is exciting because the truth is told in the Dating Den. I put my magical powers on Corey Jenkins and he will tell everything that you always wanted to know that men are thinking. So thank you for subjecting yourself to my voodoo powers.
I'm happy to do it.
Do you want to do something impromptu?
Okay, let's
do an angel card. We're going to talk about feminine energy.
Okay, and how does that play into the angel card?
Let's just see. Wait, you pick it, actually. Look, I was not being in my feminine. I was going to pick it.
Okay. Synthesis.
Ooh.
I'm not even sure what that means.
Synthesis means like together, like synergy, like everything coming together.
Very interesting.
Okay, so here's the thing. Women, I love you. You're like, I'm owning, I have too much masculine energy. Like, they've got that. But then they're like, so what does being feminine actually look like besides wearing a flipping dress and high heels?
You know, this is such a good question. And when you first brought up the topic, I thought, how will we address this? Because I know that this conversation about masculine and feminine energy is very popular. It seems like the last 5 or 10 years, people are constantly talking about it because there's a lot of theory that there has to be masculine and feminine energy in a relationship regardless of the gender of the people. And to some degree, actually not to some degree, I really do agree with that. I think to have a successful relationship, you need that sort of yin yang.
Yeah, absolutely.
But what does it look like? And, you know, if I'm the male guest here and you're asking me what feminine energy looks like, I think I'd have to start by saying what it looks like to me might not be what it looks like to everyone else. I will admit that the feminine characteristics that I'm attracted to are the things that are pretty traditionally female.
Okay.
Just to give you some examples.
Give us some specifics.
And you could say that I'm psychologically conditioned because they're not going to be shocking. But there are things like a woman's long hair. From a physical attribute perspective, I love high heels, a woman in dress, those kinds of things. However, at a little bit different level, to me, feminine energy that I'm attracted to is it's a little erratic. It's less logical. It's more creative. It's more nurturing. So it's a lot of the things that are the opposite of me.
Okay.
I'm pretty logical. I'm pretty. I like to make appointments. I like to have my calendar bridged out.
Right.
Whereas for me, I need a little bit of like, you know, feminine energy gets a bad rap being called crazy sometimes. But if that wasn't such an offensive word or adjective, then it's the unpredictable.
Unpredictable. Okay, what about on an emotional level? What feels really feminine to you at an emotional level? Because I know you like to go like to the deep.
At an emotional level, it's something that's nurturing. It's something that is soft. It's you know, again, it's all those things that frighten me just a little bit.
Okay.
And used to frighten me a lot more.
Okay.
You know, I think women have helped me to soften up a little bit in how I participate with them. But yeah, it's a woman who isn't going to be afraid to create space to have a challenging conversation. And someone who I'm trying to think of.
You had said before when you were talking about some of your past relationships about vulnerability being missing. I think you had said.
Yes.
And someone you were dating.
Yeah.
So a lot of when we teach at Dating with Dignity about femininity, we talk about being vulnerable and being open. So how does vulnerability show up to you in terms of? Do you think that's feminine? I mean. Well,
that's interesting. I was thinking about that because I think it is more often demonstrated by women. However, vulnerability sort of has an asterisk by it.
Okay.
Because I think that men and women, or masculine and feminine, needs to be vulnerable to connect. So I don't think you can have one person being vulnerable in a relationship and the other not.
Well, exactly. I would even say because women say they want like an alpha male, but what they really want is, I call it a modern alpha male. They want a strong guy who's got some feminine characteristics, and being open and emotionally conscious and aware and vulnerable is important to women these days. Why are you laughing?
I'm laughing because we almost need to do another video because that's a whole other conversation where in my process of getting to know myself, I went from being really A-type, boxed up, rigid, not emotional, and then I went the whole other direction to a point where I had women say, dude, you're too soft. And I didn't like that.
Right.
And now I've had to find what really works for me, and it is probably more...
Interesting. Yeah. Like you were so like sensitive and spiritual and deep, and they were like... Get get an edge, dude.
Yep. An old partner of mine would call me a dinosaur biscuit. She's like, you would just get eaten by a dinosaur. Like, that is not the kind of man I want to be with.
I love it. You know, I love that you brought this up, and this is a little bit of a segue, but I think it's important because so many of you are like, I want a spiritual man, I want a conscious man, I want this, and then he shows up, and you're like, he's pussy.
Oh, I love that you went there.
Yeah, and so it's like, here's the thing. You want like a well-rounded man who's got both energies, and I think men today, they don't want freaking like, you know, Susie Homemaker. That's not feminine. They want, like, it's sexy to be like, you know, ballsy in the boardroom and soft and warm and open. Like, we all have to have masculine and feminine energy, yeah?
I think so, and I actually think you're touching on something that's fascinating because when you start to become aware that masculine and feminine exist and you start to recognize what you are by default, you, like me, may want to try on the opposite, but ultimately the goal is to figure out what works for you. And I can tell you that now what I do is I actually manage that stuff pretty manually. In other words, I do know that I want to be the masculine role in a relationship, and I know the things that go along with that. And then, you know, to come all the way back to the question about what does feminine energy look like, I also now can recognize that in different women. So if I'm dating, I can pick up, does this woman's feminine energy fit for me? I really disagree with anyone that says that feminine energy should be this and therefore women would follow it and go, oh, let me be more like that. It's more figure out what works for you, and then you've got to figure out a partner that matches up with that.
Exactly. Well, it goes, so when we teach it, we call it the sexy alpha femme. So she's got a little of both, but the bottom line is it's the authenticity.
Yes.
Right? So what feels feminine for you? And I think the most important thing, what you said, is that there's got to be polarity, and it's got to be polarity with the right guy. So you got to be looking for the right type. So if someone is watching and they're like taking notes because they're really masculine and they want to get an A, and there was something they could do right now to practice turning up their femininity, dial it up 10%, what would you have her do?
I would encourage her to get in touch with something that makes her feel sort of really natural. Like, I don't know if it's music. A lot of times women respond to music. Is it dancing? Is it, I don't know, being a DJ, doing something to where that energy sort of emanates out of you. Or if you're not sure, go out and try a bunch of different things. In fact, I would probably say maybe email Marni and ask her what some things are to try out getting in touch with your femininity, and then try a few of them, because what you might find is that 3 things that your girlfriends all like doesn't work for you, but there's something that does.
That's so true. I was exploring my femininity, and I went to this like a meetup kind of a thing, and oh my god, I admitted I used my kids as an excuse to leave. They were doing like this feminine goddess thing with the hips, and they were like crawling around and meowing, and I was like, I've got to get out of here immediately. And I realized my femininity isn't goddessy. I'm like not the goddessy, like feel it in your hip. Like I have a different way. So you have to find your femininity that fits for you.
Yeah, I'm just going to underscore that, because just remember that my definition of femininity, or yours, might not be the same as yours, but figure out, I think it's more of a synonym for whatever naturally feels best for you to express yourself as a human and as a person who would connect to the opposite polarity.
Exactly. And remember that you are actually, we're assuming you are actually a girl, right? Like, I want to be politically correct. And if you are, then it's buried in there somewhere. So discover it, figure it out, and bring it, and then attract the guy who's got the right amount of masculine for you, sister, girlfriend.
Great subject.
Corey, thank you for being in my dating den.
You are welcome.
You can come to my den any day.
Thank you.
We'll see you later. Oh, wait. I forgot.
What did you forget?
Where can they find more of you?
You can find me. If you want to hear more from me, I have a website, CoreyLJenkins.com. So it's CoreyLJenkins.com, or Facebook.com/Corey Jenkins minus the L. So just Corey Jenkins on Facebook.
And you can come find us at hashtag dating den, right, Craig? So if you want to have a conversation on Twitter, hashtag dating den. You can follow us on Instagram at Dating Den. And if you would like to become irresistible and take this work a little deeper, then get this book. It's free, and it's called Becoming Irresistible. I would love to help you get your girl on. Mwah! Talk to you later. Bye.
See you, everyone.